Welcome to For the Culture. This is your host Deepak Batty, and I'm today joined by Nikita. Nikita is a part of a he's not really he's a part of his own wedding photography business, which is really fucking cool. And he DJs on his off time at night at Cactus Club down at the yacht club. So I'm really psyched to have him on here. He was actually recommended to me by my girlfriend Erica, and the last time she had a suggestion, it turned out really well. So shouts out Steve. But yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yeah. How was your day?
It was great. Yeah. Enjoying the sunshine, classic Kelowna vibes. Okanagan lifestyle.
Hell yeah. That's sick. So I wanted to get right into the whole wedding photography stuff, right? Because I've done photography for a few years now, but the wedding stuff always just seemed like so intimidating. It just always seemed like so hard to get into for me, and it just almost seemed like overwhelming with the amount of like variables there are and all this stuff. So how did you start off for people that actually, sorry, you know what, I'll get into that a little later, but sure. How did you start off doing that?
I had a good friend of mine who was a wedding photographer by profession, and he kind of offered to take me under his wing because I'd expressed some interest, and I'd always just dabbled in photography just with my friends beforehand, and he took me along. I second shot for him at a wedding, and it was super enjoyable. I got super hooked on it just because you get all these moments like that aren't really in day-to-day life,
right?
And taking photos of them isn't really like a situation you're usually in, and just kind of from there I just kept the ball rolling myself. He doesn't do wedding photography anymore. Kind of stressful situations most of the time, so you get burnt out for sure, and just been working at it ever since. Every summer is kind of when I do it mainly. I'm a student during the winter, and then over the course of the summer I just work on my wedding photography. Go shoot some weddings, enjoy the Kelowna vibes.
Hell yeah. And so when it came to your wedding photography, was it something that you've always wanted to do? Like when did you actually start doing photography in the first place?
Photography, probably, what would that be? Like probably closer to 8 years ago, and then started doing wedding photography summer of first year university. That would be 4 years ago. So I've had, this will be my fourth, maybe fifth season of shooting weddings. And just every year you learn something new going into it. You reflect on the last season, and you kind of over the winter get some time to mellow out and think about how you want to approach the next season. And then you kind of get like a clear view of the weddings you shot last summer, because at the end of it your brain is so like fried from editing like thousands and thousands and thousands of photos, that you just kind of like can lose yourself in them in a way. So it's good. The winter really gives you time to reflect on it.
Yeah. Dude, I bet. Honestly, like sometimes I find myself after like band shows or whatever, and I'm editing photos, my brain melts after just shooting, going through like 50 or 100 or 150. So like going through like a few thousand with weddings. Oh,
definitely.
Nuts. And I'm just, people are so particular about their wedding photos too, like a lot of people dream of that moment. So like, it must be like really high pressure versus other types of gigs you must have done in the past, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I have a thing where I try and, instead of just advertising to like any couple out there for finding a wedding photographer, I really want to like shoot for people that I can kind of connect with.
Right.
And so when I go for my consultation, we like can initially hit it off and like be friends. So instead of them having just some photographer who they don't know, have never met at the wedding, they can see me as a friend. They're acting natural, and it like lowers the stress for them, lowers the stress for me. And at the end of the day, there are variables you can't control. Like last Friday I had a wedding in West Kelowna, and the couple, like the one thing they really wanted was pictures with Okanagan Lake, as everybody does, which is absolutely gorgeous. And massive thunderstorm rolled in about 5 minutes before their ceremony, totally rained us out. But the photos we got are like, we got some outside and we got some really funny ones inside that, it's like just unexpected variables that are going to happen along the way and that you can't control really.
Yeah.
It's just memories.
Yeah, of course, of course. And the thing though too is like there's a specific sort of there's a lot of variables when it comes to that kind of stuff. So like there's a lot of specific looks that a lot of people try to go for, right? So like how do you like balance all that?
Oh, that's a super tough question. And like I said, over the winter, that's kind of when I have time to reflect, and staying consistent with your look and style is something I think a lot of photographers who haven't been in the business for a long time struggle with.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like you can't really say one's better than the other because it's all subjective and it's an artistic expression. So like when I started, I was very into the saturated colors, you know, punchy, like classic, like, oh, look at this photo, it's sick. And then just every year since then, I've kind of gone through a change of just trying to find a different style that I can, you know, edit all my photos and shoot in the same way. And like huge respect for other photographers with unique styles that, you know, they've stuck with. Like there's definitely times and places where it might not be the best way to shoot it.
Right.
But if you can keep it consistent and keep your style looking good, you know, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah. What have you done to like develop your style over the last couple of years, you know? So are there any particular people that you've sort of like taken inspiration from over the last few years?
Yeah. The individual who got me into the wedding photography, his name's Chris Stewart. He was like quite well awarded as far as wedding photographers go. What is the name of that association? You know, it's escaping me right now. But basically, they really value photos that capture moments. Yeah. So, you know, like kind of like a fleeting smile or like a quick kiss somewhere or like a hilarious expression or somebody like smashing a glass accidentally at a wedding, and you know you've got a whole bunch of stuff going on that that really is happening in a split second. And when I'm at a wedding, I'm just always on the lookout, like eyes in the back of my head, looking for moments like that, and trying to find like a way that combines, you know, like something that's pretty to your eye, just like a nice photo, but also has a moment that's kind of just like suspended in time. You know what I mean? So you don't ever get that moment again, but you've got this photo combining art and like these moments that, you know, it always comes back to that for me. So I'm always looking for those. Yeah,
it's because it's the emotion that matters, right?
Yeah.
In these types of photos, the emotion is what really carries it. And the thing is, like, the work that you do is going to be looked at, you know, like decades from now. You know, family members are going to be able to look at it and be like, yo, you know,
definitely.
Some people will start crying over their wedding photos.
That's what I hope for.
And so how does that feel?
How does that feel?
How does that feel for you? No, you thinking about that?
That's a deep question. When I'm at my laptop going through the wedding photos afterwards, you know, I spend probably about 8 hours just going through the thousands and thousands of photos I'll shoot throughout the day. Yeah. And literally from the time I open my laptop screen to the time I close it, like just a massive grin on my face. And I just like catch myself. I'm like, oh man, this was hilarious. Or like, look at the emotion on that. That's on the mom, or like tears on the groom seeing his bride walking down the aisle and seeing her in her dress for the first time. It's like super rewarding being at your laptop and like reliving those moments, you know? And so it like just massive smile. Yeah. As soon as I see these photos again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I find myself doing that too. Like when I see some photos that I think are really sick, you know, I start smiling too when I review that. And it's a really good sign that when you're able to make yourself excited over the things that you're doing, it's a good sign that like other people will view that the same way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it just takes so much confidence though to be able to like be there and be the one guy to do that. Or actually, I wanted to ask you, do you have other people that you bring along under your wing, or is it just solely you?
Let's see. I've actually been the person under somebody else's wing on multiple occasions.
Right.
Shout out Joel's View Photography. Shout out one time. But I actually haven't been in the situation where I've had to employ a second photographer yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never have been there. I've definitely like trained some other people in how to approach wedding photography.
Yeah.
But I haven't been in a situation where I get to take them along for the first time. So, if anybody out there wants to come shoot with me for a wedding, slide into my DMs and we'll set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, by the way, what are some things that people should look out for when they do want to get into wedding photography? Like the things that would separate them from everything else, because wedding photography, once again, is very specific. It's lots of different variables and everything like that. What would you say an aspiring wedding photographer should look at?
Sorry, just having some water. I would say going onto there's usually local Facebook pages with local wedding photographers, and it's kind of just shop talk in there. And just going on there, reading, seeing what everybody's doing, taking it all with a grain of salt, because, saying you've got one wedding booked for 2018 isn't as cool as saying you've got 42 booked.
Yeah.
And just going on there, connecting, seeing who else is out there, and get an idea of the price range you should be charging, because wedding photographers put in a lot of time behind the scenes, editing and uploading, downloading, insuring their gear, everything, driving between ceremonies, scouting it out. So don't undervalue yourself.
Right.
But definitely don't go out there and without, any experience under your belt and just start, working beyond your means. Like don't put yourself in the position where a couple has trusted you to capture their day without you being experienced enough to really handle it, because that, it doesn't bother me if you want to do that, but it's just not a good feeling at the end of the day if you are in that position. And I definitely think right at the start of my career as a wedding photographer, I definitely overestimated my capabilities, and it was just not a great feeling, but we sorted it all out. It's all cool.
You grow from it,
from it, you learn.
And you know what the thing though is that a lot of young budding photographers do that. I did that, I would sometimes find clients would come up to me and they would ask me yo, how much do you charge? And I'd put it way up higher than they would see. Yeah. Because you think that your capabilities are so high, but you just haven't proven yourself to the people around you.
Yeah.
And the thing though too is that in your situation when you started, when you had somebody bring you under their wing, I think is the best way of starting out. I think that makes a lot of sense, because that way at least you're not just sort of the main shooter. There's at least always a main shooter that's going to be able to capture the most important moments.
Definitely.
And all the best stuff that you capture, you can show off to other people, right? So that's really sick.
Second shooting is definitely a great way to get into it, because you get the experience, you see what the lead photographer is doing, and then when you go off and shoot your own first wedding, you can use some of those tips and tricks. And at the same time, when a photographer's doing a triple header for a weekend, shooting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'll get caught up, definitely a lot of caffeine, definitely a lot of Red Bull consumed over the weekend, and maybe they'll have some crutches they'll fall back on in terms of the shooting technical aspects. But you being a newer photographer don't have these potentially bad habits formed, so you can put your own spin on it without just going and doing the exact same thing you've done for the last 5 weddings, which is kind of a huge thing in job interviews as well, which is, tips and tricks for all the engineering students out there represent. If you're in a job interview and they ask you, why should I hire you instead of the more experienced candidate, say, I'm an open book. I've got no bad habits. Teach me. So, I just actually learned that in a management class, not even an engineering class.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a lot of insight that you have dropped on potential budding photographers.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah. I wanted to get your opinion on this, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you think that gear matters?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's a hard question to ask. For me, I've never had the top quality gear.
Yeah.
Just because I see it more as a tool than a super important part of your photography skill.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference for sure. But there are ways you can still create amazing images without needing the most expensive Sony G Master lens or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What do you shoot with?
Right now I've got a Nikon D610.
Okay, full frame.
It's a full frame. Yeah. Last year, so touching on the tools thing, last year we were out in my friend's Jeep ripping down some forest roads and just like tossing the camera around inside the Jeep all day, like throwing it on the seat, throwing it in the back, because it's like pretty heavy duty camera.
Yeah.
And then just on the way down, we were hanging out the side of the Jeep, and there's a friend in front of us driving a second vehicle, and just like enough dust and rock got kicked up that it caused my shutter to just crunch up on itself. And
no way.
Yeah, it was pretty crappy. So like ever since then, I've been pretty like disconnected from the whole gear hype situation. I just got super butthurt over my camera and the fact that like I buy all my gear used, and so like no warranty, and I just had to pay out of pocket to replace it. And so
that sucks. Yeah. So it was a 610 before, and you replaced it with another 610?
Yeah, I actually sent it off to Nikon over the winter. They fixed the shutter on it. Yeah, but like over the course of the month or so that I didn't have a camera, I picked up my dad's film camera, and that's kind of like what rekindled my love for film photography, because that was the only camera I had lying around. I'm like, I got to shoot. I have to take a camera out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So
what film camera was it? Was it the one that you had up there, like when we were doing our photos?
Yeah, that kind of a crappy situation. My brother had been borrowing the film camera that my dad's old one. That was a Nikon FE.
Yeah.
From like the early 90s, late 80s. I'm not actually sure. It's like a brick basically. Yeah. So that's the one that I was shooting on. My dad actually got it in Japan when he was living there, and like
sick.
It's super sick. And unfortunately on Canada Day, somebody broke down my brother's car, stole all his Sony gear and my Nikon, or my dad's Nikon rather, that was in there, unfortunately.
Like this kind of day?
Yeah, like
2018?
Like 7 days ago or something.
Damn.
Yeah, so
have you gone to a pawn shop and given them serial number and all that shit?
Yeah, well, it's my brother's situation.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm not gonna like hold his hand, but he's got a police report, and just really hoping that something will come up, and just got looking on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, but it's just kind of crappy that somebody would do that on Canada Day.
For real.
Yeah. So like his digital camera, he's like kind of butthurt about that, but like him and I both understand like that film camera is like way more sentimental value, and you can buy them on eBay for like probably like $60. So I mean, I would gladly hand whoever took it like $200 right now.
Yeah.
Or more. I don't care. Like, I just want the camera back,
Of course.
And there was like film in there that we'd shot and hadn't developed yet as well. So like,
no.
And we totally forget everything that's on the film. Like, we know what happened roughly. Like we went hiking a few times and like some boating and stuff, but it's just like we'll never get to see those photos more than likely, which is kind of a sad story.
Damn. Well,
what are you gonna do?
For the culture has your back, man. We got shooters.
Shooters in the street.
No, just kidding. We don't.
No shooters. Okay.
I'd like to say that we do, but nah.
Nah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Just like if there's anybody out there that sees a Nikon FE with a 28mm lens, hit me up.
Pull up. Yo, we'll give you some good money for that shit.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's such a shame. Damn. Yeah. Oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody sees that, let me know. I'll spread the message. But yeah, okay, crazy, cool, yeah. cool. So cool.
What is that from? Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Cool. It's from Hot Rod. Oh no, that's who plays in Hot Rod and
Andy Samberg.
And it's Andy Samberg thing. He just goes cool.
I just thought it was some meme that people do. I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of like TV or movies or any of that shit.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, that's dope though. By the way, just as a gearhead myself, do you mainly shoot with primes or do you use zoom lenses?
Primes 100p.
Hey, okay.
Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I learned early on in shooting weddings was, you can have one zoom lens if you want that weighs like 10 pounds hanging around your neck all day, and you can get your get like a superstore neck at the end of the day, or you have two cameras. Well, okay, let me rephrase all that.
Sure.
On average, zoom's way heavier than a prime.
Yeah.
And the prime is going to be crisper at 35 mil, for example, than the zoom would be at 35 mil.
100%. Yeah.
And it's easier to zoom with your feet just by walking forwards and backwards.
True. Very true.
And usually, if you're moving around, it'll put you in like, give you a new perspective. So like instead of just hanging out at the front of the ceremony and like zooming in and out everywhere, shooting everything like that, the primes make you get up and walk around and, you know, see things from a different light, if you will.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so I'm a pretty big prime user.
That gives you an edge, I think. That really gives you an edge over a lot of other people, just having that understanding. Because I would love to say that I just shoot in primes, but I just fucking don't have any.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Actually, though, I do have one 50 millimeter 1.8, right? And the thing is that it's totally clear, fucking great. But I left it in India for 2 years, and when I got it back, it was covered in dust. So rest in peace.
R.I.P. Rest in dust. Yeah, that sucks, dude. Actually, favorite lens was a 24 mil 1.8.
Yeah.
It's so unique. It's like wide angle and super fast, so you get the bokeh that you would from like a portrait lens, but then like a super wide background as well. So it's like a portrait landscape combination. And you can, for example, like if you're hiking, you're on the top of a mountain or somewhere, and you have a portrait lens, you'll shoot like the person's face, and it just is kind of like blurry blue sky behind you. Yeah. Whereas with this like 24 mil 1.8, you can have like a nice looking portrait, and then suddenly you see like the massive landscape behind you, and like the sun setting in over like the Rockies or something like that. So that's probably wild. Probably the most unique lens I got to shoot on.
Yeah, that's wild. Have you ever had any like particular sort of like dream lenses that you've always wanted?
You know, it's a zoom lens. so you know, totally guilty here. But this 70 to 200 f2.8 is pretty sick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beast. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But that's just like a pretty unique. That's like a lens for a pretty unique situation, I'd say. Yeah. Like sports action and like some portraits and stuff. But I definitely wouldn't bring that along on a wedding. No. But it would just be kind of like a beast of a lens just to have kind of for fun. Yeah. Just kick it in the closet, you know, break it out every so often.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh,
tell me, what's your favorite Canon lens?
See, I don't have any like specifics currently. Like I used to want to get the Canon 24 to what the hell was it?
24 to 70?
Yeah, 24 to 70 L lens. It's a classic, right? It's a total classic.
Yeah, total classic.
But I ended up getting the Sigma 18 to 35. It's a constant 1.8 aperture regardless.
I know that lens.
I love that lens. It's so sick.
Yeah. I love it.
That art lens is like my favorite lens that I own.
Sigma Art's killing the game for sure.
Yeah. I want to get a Sigma Prime eventually, but I want to eventually get a tilt shift. Tilt shift lenses are fucking gnarly. Yeah. And they just blow my mind on how they work. Yeah. And then I also want to get a fisheye, man. Like I grew up watching like skateboarding videos when I was a kid. Yeah. So like fisheye just always looks fucking wonderful to me. So just like, I don't know, an 8 millimeter or 10 millimeter Canon L lens. I think those exist. But that's what I would want. Tilt shift or a fisheye. So
yeah, I can vouch for the 8 mil. Yeah, I shot club photos for a few years, and that was just like the only thing I shot on 24/7.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like, where'd you shoot?
So flashbacks before they closed down.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't know. It was decently fun there. So that lasted for probably a year, and then I wasn't doing really too much like in terms of weekly nightlife stuff. Yeah. A lot out at the university at UBCO for the Students Union, like different parties and events and stuff. Yeah. And then I was at Level for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that's super draining. Respect to all the club photographers out there.
Shouts out Justin Hill.
Yeah, Justin, you're killing it.
Yo, his interview just dropped today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Mad props.
I gotta listen to that. Are you on Spotify yet?
No, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna
good.
get it on Spotify. Yeah. I have so much shit that I have to balance on this stuff.
True.
So, but you'll see it up on Spotify for sure.
Okay,
but
perfect.
it's right now for free on SoundCloud.
Perfect.
So,
yeah. I love SoundCloud.
Yeah. Real easy.
Yeah.
Real easy for sure.
As a DJ, there's so much stuff on there that it's like great for finding new music. You can listen to mixes and look at the track list and pick out the songs you like.
Yeah, and it's good to find like inspiration. Like there's a girl that DJs really well. Her name is Cam Girl. She's got she's got such a good ear for music and shit.
Oh, yeah?
And like her mixes are insane. But
Cam Girl.
you know what?
Yeah.
I did want to actually get into your DJ stuff actually, because like you DJ for Cactus Club at the one downtown, right? And so, first of all, how did you get into the DJing thing in the first place?
Good question. I feel like I say good question quite often. We're gonna come
I'm
back
just
on it.
loaded with good questions, bro.
So many good questions, man. I'm overwhelmed. Cool. It's like you prepared or something.
I literally don't come prepared for any interview. No,
smooth.
All off the top of my head.
All off the top, freestyle interview, bro. Yeah, man.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're like the notorious B.I.G. of interviews.
Oh, fuck, man. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, question. DJing. How did I get into it? Thanks, Mom and Dad, for always putting me in music lessons.
Hey, shouts out the parents.
Right? I see we're in like a pretty sick studio right now.
Thank you.
Got the drums, got the guitars, got a pretty dope amp over there. Played piano, drums, saxophone.
Holy shit, dude.
Timpani.
What?
Timpani, yeah.
Dude, I haven't met anybody that's played the timpani since like grade 9.
Well, okay, it was grade 9. Timpani, so
okay,
so
nice.
we're still following the trend. But back in like second year university, there was a guy dropping out. Sad. He had been there for the first half of the year of his first year, and he was like, "This ain't for me. I'm gonna go live the hippie lifestyle or whatever nomad lifestyle."
Right.
Props. And he was just getting rid of like a bunch of his stuff, and he was a DJ as well.
Yeah.
And I just picked up like this super basic 2-channel mixer for like $100.
Dope.
And would just spend like hours and hours in my room going through my library and just like mixing and refining my skills and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
It's pretty much, well, actually entirely self-taught. And I think that's the best way to go about music, but
100%.
I definitely had a good understanding of like, like key signatures and time signatures and
tempo
and tempo and stuff. But I kind of just bought it and decided to jump right in head first. And I can't even remember what my first gig was. Damn, I wish I could. But just sort of slowly started building up my name, and it's tough in Kelowna being a DJ. It's like fairly small city, but we've got like a lot of like kind of bad DJs and not a lot of like half decent DJs. So usually if you're looking for a DJ and it's basically like if it's a Friday or a Saturday, anybody good is already going to be booked.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Got any names of good ones? We want to spread positivity here.
Oh yeah. I'd love to shout out Kevin Moore, Steve Romo. Who else have we got here? Chris Falco.
Dope.
Yeah, dude, I'll list you up with some people you should interview on the show afterwards as well.
I would love to. Real. I would love to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Oh man. This is tough on my head. Brandon.
Oh, he's a part of Broken Future? That Brandon?
I think it's that at Sapphire.
Yeah. He's at Sapphire. Yeah, and then his
Brandon's
buddies.
good. Code E.
Yeah.
He's good. I don't know. There's Berg. I just remember like coming into Sapphire one night to watch one of my favorite trap artists, Cali, and Berg was opening him for him, and he was playing like dubstep from 2008 that I hadn't heard forever, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, that's kind of like what made me want to learn how to DJ. I'd always wanted to get into it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Funny story, learning about actually like music that I liked listening to at the time. Really into rock climbing, and the climbing gym that I started climbing at, Beyond the Crux, the owner was huge into old dubstep.
Wow.
So he'd like always play this music. I'm like, whoa, what is this crap? Being like a 10-year-old or whatever. So he just kind of introduced me to dubstep, and like since then I've grown out of like that phase of super aggressive music 24/7. But I just that's kind of what made me want to learn to DJ.
Dope.
I want to be a dubstep DJ.
Well, I mean, like everybody starts off somewhere, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Yeah.
when I started playing the guitar, I started playing like AC/DC and Zeppelin tunes, like tons of kids.
Classic. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And when did you start landing gigs over at Cactus Club? Because I bet that's a hard place to land a gig, right?
Yeah, Cactus Club definitely likes to have good DJs. Eric is laughing in the corner about a situation we had a couple nights ago. So I don't only DJ at Cactus Club, just for anybody out there looking for a nice, all-rounder DJ. So DJ Dilly, who was one of the resident DJs at Level a few years ago before moving to Calgary. He was also a resident DJ at Cactus Club. And he just really liked my sound when I was starting out, and I think he kind of like thought I had an ear for it.
Yeah.
And just kind of offered me his position at Cactus Club before moving, because it was just a weekly Friday slot, and he needed to fill it before moving to Calgary. So he just handed it over to me, and I just like showed up one day. I'm like, hey, I'm Nikita. I'm going to be taking over Fridays here. And they're like, all right, okay. And they had like a sick Rain 62 mixer and like CDJs there on this like in-house system. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to use any of it. Can I bring my own controller? So I just like brought in my little shitty 2-channel mixer I was familiar with, and like kind of like plopped it on top of the mixer, and everyone was like, is he allowed to do that? But yeah, like, just, I think that was like 3 years ago, and
shit.
Oh yeah.
What was your first gig like? Like, were you intimidated? Like, were you nervous? What was it like?
I started out at, like my first weekly sort of like lounge gig was at Tonic's Pub.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird place to have a DJ.
I think so. Yeah.
But Jamal, who's the resident DJ at Level, had a slot there on Saturdays he needed to fill.
Right.
And I was like, yo, choose me. Like super green, like just like super excited to have any sort of gig. Yeah. And like he like showed up for my first gig there, and he was like helping me out. He's like, dude, do you think you can handle this? And I was like, yeah, man, I got this. And he was like, all right. And he was just like having a beer at the bar, like just listening to me, making sure I wasn't like catastrophically fucking up.
Yeah.
And apparently I didn't.
Sick.
So that was
Congratulations.
Good. Thank you, bro. And yeah, so like went back like for a following week, and just kind of like, that was my first residency, if you will. And that lasted for probably about a year, and then they just kind of weren't getting enough business, I think, to warrant paying a DJ.
Yeah.
So, that's just the way business goes in Kelowna sometimes.
Yeah.
And I learned a ton from that gig. And, looking back now, I'm like, God damn, Nikita, why the hell would you be playing that music? But that's, I feel like any artist, you look back on your old work and you're like, damn, what was I thinking?
Honestly,
yeah.
Truth. 100%, dude. Like, I sometimes listen to my shit that I used to do. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right? You just like see it in a new light.
Yeah. But, that's the process of growth, though. Totally.
100%.
And what kind of music do you play now at, like, say, just whatever gigs that you have? Dubstep isn't really much of a thing anymore, right?
Yeah, I think it died in like 2014. No, I'm joking. Oh man, I don't know. I like really. I think I have a unique sound.
Okay. How would you describe it?
That's a good question. Can I go on my phone?
Yeah, like, you're allowed. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, no, you're not allowed to go on your phone.
Yeah, fair enough. So craft beer market that just opened here in Kelowna.
Yeah.
So I'll be DJing there a little bit over the summer.
Dope.
And they described the sound they were looking for over this email, which I'm getting right now. And I was like, wait, that's exactly what I try and DJ all the time. Okay, so let's see. Little against the grain, don't fall in the typical top 40 club EBM,
Sick.
EDM, hip hop trap. We like to pave our own way, and I'm just reading this verbatim right now. Our spin is classic feel good music with sing-alongs mixed together with high tempo new alternatives normally you wouldn't hear. So kind of like Sweet Caroline mixed with MGMT,
okay,
and like Portugal the Man and Fleetwood Mac, Arcade Fire, Mike Snow, that sort of stuff.
Dope. I like it.
Yes, but like they continue on ... But then so like I guess I lied. They're not exactly what I play all the time, but I can play that stuff, just for the record.
You're a versatile DJ.
Oh, thank you. Very, very versatile. That's what I pride myself on. But
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I love listening to sort of like future bass, chill, electronic, alternative. I honestly have a hard time describing it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, kind of like some artists that would like fall in the category of music I like to play are like Odessa.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of Odessa.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you haven't listened to their discography, like, lock yourself in a room for 24 hours.
I'll totally do my best.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what? Electronic music just hasn't hit me the same way like other forms have, you know?
Yeah, Odessa I wouldn't classify as electronic, though, luckily.
I've heard of them. Like, I'm not saying I heard them, you know? So.
They're like, think like massive orchestral band symphony mixed with like college drumline, mixed with like just absolutely incredible vocals mixed with like really progressive DJs.
Sick. Yeah. I think I have an idea actually. Yeah. I think I can hear it.
They're pretty sweet. So I love that style. And apparently Spotify calls Coast Modern like oh damn, I should have remembered this. Alt pop.
Alt pop, okay.
Alt pop, alternative pop.
Right. Have you heard Midsummer Madness by 88 Rising?
No.
Listen to that
I know
song.
88 Rising, but
88 Rising's dope.
Wait, did that? I think I saw that on Rich Brian.
Yeah. Rich Brian's in the song, and like
Rich
Joji and like Higher Brothers, I think.
Yeah. Man, I love that style.
Yeah, dude.
Funny.
Honestly, that chorus. Wait, but in the chorus that Joji literally sings "fuck the rules," right? So you can't really, you can't really play that at like Drafted, but I think you might dig that.
Nice,
based on what you're telling me.
Yeah. But. Do you know what is it called? It's like got a bunch of different rappers in it, like Anderson .Paak, Ichima.
Oh
yeah, you know Ichima.
No, you know
Underwater
what?
Squad.
It sounds really familiar, but I don't know where I heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of like just like a meme, like hip hop song. Yeah, it was like in a bunch of Vine videos, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was out ages ago, and then this artist, I don't think Josh Pan. Yeah, Josh Pan. He's a trap artist. Remixed it into this like 7-minute long, incredible, like mini mix almost, because they go through like a bunch of different tempo changes in the song, and they feature all these different rappers, and every section has like a really unique style of the electronic portion. And he brought on like 4 or 5 other DJ producers who like all worked on one section of the song and did this massive collab of like, I think there's probably like excess of 15 artists involved total.
That's
and it's
wild.
like, it's pretty incredible. They don't even call it a remix, they call it an opus, which is pretty wild. So I don't know, that's something worth listening to. So
wild. You're gonna have to send me a link to that.
I will.
You're gonna have to send me a few links, man.
Yeah, man.
DJs, songs, all sorts of shit.
Follow me on Spotify and listen to my playlists.
Yeah. What's your Spotify?
Nikita Taylor. Apparently it's not public though, so I gotta fix that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, just easy. Just look for Nikita Taylor, and if I'm not there, then I probably haven't bothered to make my account public yet. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so wild. Damn. That's freaking sick, man. And like in terms of like style, do you have any like sort of like places that you're trying to go to? Anything that you want to experiment with? Do you also make your own music?
I knew that question was coming. I've tried. I tried without any sort of like production equipment, and then I was like, this is a lot of work. And then I bought a Native Instruments machine,
right?
Which was sick, but I more learned to like finger drum on it than produce music. So for like a month and a half, I was like finger drumming like mad on it. But I haven't really like spent enough time producing music.
Oh, I see.
So I've got ideas in my head of like how I would mash music up, but I have I feel like this is just a common artist thing to have to struggle with, but like innovating something that isn't already in existence is definitely harder than just like synthesizing two already like awesome pieces of music. So as a DJ, I'm always on the lookout for ways I can combine music and not necessarily just like create it, but maybe combining is like creating, so who knows.
I think it really doesn't fucking matter, honestly. Like,
for real, can think about it at the end of the day, but who cares?
All it really matters is just sort of like what makes you happy at the end of the day, just sort of like if you like doing that, then fucking you know, keep at it. If you want to explore making music, then just like get into it for sure, but you don't have to like
natural.
You don't have to like completely like bum yourself out. Maybe come back another day or whatever, right? But like you've clearly found your sort of thing and what you're doing. You found a sound for yourself. You're playing in like all these different places and gigs. And you don't, from the sounds of it, you don't have like a conventional job. Like no,
definitely not.
So I think you have your wedding photography and your DJ stuff, which is super fucking sick. Like, and then you just go back into school. So it seems like you have like your life figured out pretty good, man.
I don't know.
I mean, like
it's fine. I just kind of like no real game plan with either of those things, like DJing or wedding photography. It's just kind of just like gigs I've sort of like fallen into and just naturally progressed into what they are. So I don't know. I don't view either one of them as work, because like I would probably do both
for free,
like just for free, for fun. Actually, no, I wouldn't do them for free, because that's like pretty hurtful to the industry. But you know what I mean. Like I don't 100%. See them as jobs. It's like fun for me. So
that's why I do this. That's why I do For the Culture, right? It's like it's fun for me too, and I love just like meeting new people that do really dope shit, because it's hard to find people that are good sometimes. And I just want to have like people be able to like ask me like, yo, who's really sick at doing this, doing that, if they wanted a wedding.
Be the plug for sick people.
Exactly. You exactly know what the deal about that is.
I know exactly what that is.
So exactly. That's
being connected is fun.
Yeah.
It's rewarding.
It is.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I would honestly like be a hermit.
Oh, really?
Just doing my own shit. Like,
yeah, fair.
I like talking to people. Talking to people is like awesome.
Yeah.
But like I'm just so busy doing my own shit with my music and just like my photography and stuff. I'm just like, I don't have time. So I force myself with this For the Culture shit. And it's sick.
I feel the hermit thing. I'm working on the hermit thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just like can get so busy over the summer, like being in different social circles, and there's always something you can do if you like kind of want to go out and do something in Kelowna. And okay, actually, cancel all that. I just realized I just suffered from a case of FOMO.
What the hell's FOMO?
Fear of missing out, dude.
Oh, okay.
Also, an absolutely incredible future house DJ in the UK.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
So, like,
learning new things.
I knew FOMO the DJ before I knew FOMO the fear of missing out. So.
Hey, shit. I've heard of fear of missing out. I just did not think about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like not something you generally just go thinking about, like, oh, FOMO, fear of missing out. Shower thoughts, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. In the Okanagan, I think a lot of people like suffer from FOMO.
I think so, 100%.
Just like you go on Instagram and look at the Instagram stories all day, every day.
Dude.
Stuff going on.
Yeah, you see all the people like that are on the beach or like they go traveling and they're just like, look at me, I'm doing it. It's like, for a lot of people that don't really have it together, I'm sure it hits FOMO like really hard for them.
So true. And I think like I'm definitely guilty of like posting Instagram stories flexing. Like if we're like we've just like taken some Jeeps somewhere and like going camping or going climbing or whatever, like doing something fun, like you want to tell your friends. But I think a lot of people who like are chronic Instagram story posters might like have the worst cases of FOMO themselves. You
Possibly,
know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not a clinical psychologist.
Neither am I. No, but I just met a new friend of mine who just like absolutely loves like psychology, just passionately.
Yeah.
And she just like will always ask these super interesting questions, and it will make you really think and like analyze like what you've done the last week or why you chose to do something.
That sounds super sick.
Yeah.
Psychology is actually really, really interesting to me too.
Yeah. I would definitely take a psychology course if I could, but you know, engineering is like a lot on your plate to take a psychology course as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but getting back to that, like, so I would never like reflect on my actions or like how I think or like why I choose things.
Yeah.
And then just lately I've always been like wondering more, you know what I mean? It's easy to just like think about what you want to do tomorrow, just like taking it at face value. Like, oh, I want to go wake surfing tomorrow because it's fun. But then like there's a bunch of stuff that goes along with it. Like, for example, posting an Instagram story of you wake surfing. Like, why would you choose to do that? You said you wanted to go wake surfing because it was fun.
Yeah.
So why do you need to post an Instagram story?
I think it really depends on what your priorities are, right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people do really crave that attention. And, you know, it's been proven that people do get this sort of like stimulus, this high by seeing those numbers rise and like how many people have seen their shit, right? And then it gets exacerbated when people reply to it like, yo, that's crazy, or like whatever. So, you know, it just depends on what their psychology is. And depending on if it's coming from insecurity or if it's like genuine, just sort of like, I want to show you this, you know, it really depends on the character of that person. Yeah. It's hard to really like say on a whole. So humans are way too complicated, I think, to simplify it down.
No, definitely. Yeah. There's always exceptions to every case, but it's just, I don't know. I like people watching as well, you know? Just like going to, like, we were just talking about Third Space, that coffee shop in Kelowna for anybody who hasn't been to it. You just like go in there and you'll see a whole bunch of, you know, like young business professionals. And then if you go to the bean scene downtown, you might see college students and like people reading. And then if you go to like Bliss Bakery on the west side, you see like a whole lot of like middle-aged women like out for coffee, which, you know, power to you. But
hell yeah,
it's just you can go and you can see so many different people in like one environment. One, like, you know what I mean? A coffee shop is like kind of a coffee shop, but a coffee shop isn't the same as all other coffee shops. Nah,
they have their own demographics. They have their own like character set. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to build like a infographic of coffee shops in Kelowna and just make it interactive. Like an app. I don't know. Random ideas.
Nikita, careful what you say, man.
I know.
So you build it yourself.
If you want to steal my idea, go for it. No one's stopping you.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Exactly.
Free reign, everybody.
Yeah, free reign.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we covered your photography, we covered your DJ stuff. Dude, I learned a lot about you, man. Thanks. This is a very like probably one of my, you're like up there in the top 3 right now, my longest podcasts and shit.
Really?
Yeah, 50 minutes is like
the cutoff.
The cap that I've had with everybody.
Okay.
So we're at that point right now. I'm not saying we have to end it or anything.
Oh, yeah?
But all I'm saying is that like all the questions that I had in my head are just like answered.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming on here. Where can everybody see all your work, and where can they reach out if they want to see it?
Like, follow, subscribe. No, I just want to say that.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Smash the like button. Smash the follow. Jake Pollard. What up, Jake Pollard? Sorry.
Mavericks.
Like, too many vlogs. On Instagram, follow me at Nikita_shoots.
How do you spell Nikita?
Nikita.
There you
_ shoots, just regular shoots. And then I'm on Facebook as well, Nikita Shoots. You can also add me, Nikita Taylor, if you just want to like message me about cool stuff going on. And then I've got a website, nikitashoots.ca. And I guess I don't really have anything set up for DJing just because DJing's like such a side thing for me.
Yeah.
I just like have my sort of like weekly gigs, and I just like have fun doing them. And you know, if people like want to get a hold of me to do other stuff, they'll usually just like come see me at Okanagan Crew or Cactus Club or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can email me at actually my email address for DJing is like super complex. Kita makes music at gmail.com. And that's KITA, which is like my DJ name. DJ Kita, abbreviation of Nikita.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Who was it that came up with that? Oh, I remember that was like first year university. I would always, like, whenever it was like group work time, I just open my laptop and bump some beats in class, just like very blatantly too loud and just like, y'all are just hating. Tyler, the creator. And yeah, somebody was like, yo, DJ Kita. I was like, damn, that's my DJ name, yo.
Wow.
So that's how I got it, the story.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, a lot of famous people just shorten their name, and that's how they get their name. Like Dr. Dre, his first name is Andre.
There
Right?
you go.
Cool, right?
Yeah, what about Drake?
Drake?
Has Drake always
His
just
middle
been
name
named
is middle name is Drake. Like it's literally his middle name.
Today I learned.
His first name is Aubrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aubrey Graham.
Yeah.
Aubrey Drake Graham.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder how Pusha T got his name. Do you know?
That I don't know off the
Why
top of
don't
my head.
let's make up a story about Pusha T real quick. He liked to push things that started with the letter T.
I know he sold drugs.
Yeah.
Like he claimed that he sold like tons of drugs.
He was the cocaine plug, I thought.
Yeah.
Wasn't it cocaine? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So that's pretty sick.
Side note. Cool.
Yeah. But thank you again for being on the
Of course, dude.
podcast, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Super fun.
Yeah, that was For the Culture with Nikita today. And don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and also our brand new Facebook page as well. They're all the same, For the Culture, CA at the end of it. Yeah, you'll see all our updates. We'll always be posting every Monday and Thursday. We had a poll actually on our Instagram where people voted Monday or Wednesday or Monday or Thursday. Thursday won with a 60% win, so that's what we're going for. So sorry everybody else.
Thursdays are sick. It's like Friday Junior. Friday Junior, favorite day of the week.
Hell yeah, there you go. But thank you for listening, and have a great day, y'all.